Today is Friday, October 10th, and I'm just wondering today if you all know who Connor Riley and Junior Adams are.
And now, a word from our title sponsor.
Eyeing retirement? We aim to turn your nest egg into a paycheck with half the amount you've been led to believe. Fluent Financial combines in-house portfolio design risk management with income-generating investments designed to aid your financial independence. Our goal is to develop an effective portfolio strategy to help you retire sooner and have a better lifestyle. Fluent Financial can also implement a program that allows business owners to install a cash balance plan, which may potentially reduce income tax payments. You've worked hard to become successful. Let us help develop an effective portfolio strategy that works for you. Learn more today about Fluent Financial. Retire sooner, better lifestyle. For more information or to schedule a meeting, visit fluentfinancial.com or call 972-852-4800.
The Cowboys drilled the Jets last weekend, 37-22. It was another big rushing day for Javonte Williams. Dak Prescott had another terrific game in what has been a terrific season. But after the game, nobody mentioned the wonderful work of Connor Riley and Junior Adams. No, they're not some anonymous members of the Cowboy roster. They are each first-year NFL assistants on Coach Brian Schottenheimer's staff. Last week was a bizarre one for the offensive line. There were 4 Cowboy starters out for the game. 4. The only regular starter the Cowboys had available was Terrence Steele, which meant the Cowboys had to start their 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th best offensive linemen. Do you know who the Cowboys' 9th best offensive lineman is? It's Hakeem Adeniji. He last played in a game in 2022 for the Cincinnati Bengals. And since then, he's belonged to Minnesota and Cleveland, and now the Cowboys. That line did wonderful. It kept Dak clean. The running game worked. And why? I think probably it was the offensive line coach, Connor Riley. Connor Riley's been an assistant coach in college now for 22 years. That includes 5 different stops, the last one at Kansas State, where in his 6 years there, Connor Riley churned out 12 all Big 12 offensive linemen, including the injured starting Cowboys center, Connor Beebe. My point here is that offensive line Sunday, it shouldn't have played that well. Nobody can prepare for 4 offensive line starters missing the same game. But it did play well. And, you know, it's one thing to coach a starting offensive line. That can be difficult on a lot of teams also. Evidence the Jets on Sunday. But to get an offensive line ready so that you can start your 9th best offensive line, now that's a piece of coaching. Let's go to Junior Adams. He's also a first-year head coach in the NFL. I have first-year assistant coach in the NFL. And Riley spent 22 years in college coaching. Well, Adams has spent 21 years in high school and college coaching. And by the way, at Eastern Washington, one of his stops, he was the receivers coach developing the NFL superstar Cooper Kupp. Now, last week against the Jets, the Cowboys had no CeeDee Lamb and no Cavante Turpin, which means they were going to have to reach pretty deep in their wide receiver core. No problem. Jalen Tolbert, who's gotten, it seems, a fair amount better this year than he was last year, well, that's one thing. But the Cowboys had to make full use of Ryan Flournoy, who was a late pick in last year's draft and began training camp this year just fighting for a spot on the roster. Against the Jets, he did a lot more than that. He caught 119 yards of Dak Prescott passes. You know, it's one thing to coach stars like Tyler Smith and CeeDee Lamb, but perhaps an assistant's biggest triumph, biggest challenge, is having a team's number 9 offensive lineman or number 6 wide receiver ready to play, and ready to play well. Next, Jerry Jones' unfortunate middle finger. What do you want from your favorite restaurant? Fantastic personal service, a cheery, welcoming, spotless atmosphere, and, of course, great food. The primest of beef, wagyu and lamb, incredibly fresh seafood, lobster, salmon, shrimp, Hall of Fame food from a Hall of Fame restaurant, 2 locations of Bob's Steak and Chop House, the original Bob's on Lemon Avenue, and the gorgeous new Bob's at Craig Ranch, McKinney. My wife Mary's the co-creator of Full Moon Healing Balm, and I guess I'm the reason this terrific cream was developed. A few years ago, I began getting these huge, ugly blood blotches just beneath the skin of my arms and hands. The condition's called senile purpura. And no, you don't have to be senile to experience this embarrassment. It happens as you age. And then to cover it up, we begin wearing long sleeves even when it's hot. It took 2 years working with a New Jersey lab to refine the all-natural ingredients of Full Moon Healing. Gently massage a very small amount into the skin, and within a day, the blotches begin to fade. Senile purpura usually takes weeks to disappear, but this balm cuts the timeline to about a week. And ordering's so easy. Just go to the website, fullmoonhealingco.com. I'm old enough to remember that incredibly popular legal drama of the 50s and 60s, Perry Mason, which spent 10 wonderful years on TV. Each episode began with the name of the case of the blonde bombshell, something like that. If Perry were still a TV staple, perhaps his next show could be The Case of the Accidental Finger. Sunday at MetLife Stadium late in the game, Jerry Jones, as his Cowboys were tattooing the Jets 37-22, should have been euphoric over the victory, which he was, by the way. But late in the game, after Dallas scored its last TD, Jerry was spotted shooting the middle finger at fans below his box at the stadium. Now, Jerry assured us that this was not meant for Jets fans. He says he was pointing at happy Cowboy fans and meant a thumbs up to them. I would hope so. He shouldn't be shooting the middle finger at Cowboy fans. But instead, he said rather than having his thumbs up, he inadvertently shot the middle finger. He called it accidental, saying, "I put up the wrong show of hand." Say what? So, how many of you, wishing to show the thumbs up sign, have accidentally shot your middle finger instead? Yeah, your answer's the same as mine. And the league mulled over Jerry's explanation for about maybe 2 minutes and then fined him $250,000. Now, in Jerry's world, that would buy approximately 111 cases of Johnny Walker Blue Scotch. Really good stuff, apparently. I've never had any. And by the way, for that same amount, Jerry could have given every player on the team, on the active 53-man roster, right at 2 cases each. But his $250 is gone. Well, maybe it isn't all gone. Jerry says he's going to appeal. Geez, if only Perry were still around, he could handle this case of the accidental finger.
And now a word from our title sponsor. Today's episode has been brought to you by Fluent Financial, Retire Earlier, Live Better, and by Bob's Steak and Chop House on Lemon in Dallas and in Craig Ranch in McKinney. Bob's, a Dallas tradition for more than 30 years.
If you've enjoyed Just Wondering, please hit follow, and a fresh new episode will land in your mailbox early every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning. Should you know a sports fan who might like our work, please share our contact information with that person. Just Wondering is technically directed by my wife, Mary, who is also occasionally a talent on the show. It's produced by Mike Matern, edited and posted by Ashley Bullington. Thanks for listening to today's episode of Just Wondering. I'm Norm Hitzges, and know that every day I'll be just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitzges, and I'll just be wondering too.
This is a Stolen Water Media production.